And good afternoon, baseball fans. We bring you back. The Milwaukee Brewers scout team pulled it off in fine fashion and now facing the Nor Cal U2026 club. Hunter Harrington will step in for the Nor Cal U2026 team. And Harrington takes a cut there, swing and a miss. Harmon gets it through. The count is 0-2. And Justy Lopez will step in. Oh. First base is Lynch. Over on the second base side, Burnstone. And the ball's up. The count goes to 2-1. We're in the 5 spot, the Ohm, and the shortstop position. We'll get your center field in Medina. Rounding things out on the right side, Walzakowski. Lopez, left side, and drops in for the single. So Andrade working hard behind the plate for the prospects. They're playing with one catcher this weekend, and Andrade doing a lot of the work. This kid can grounding, and a long throw in. They cut it, and Lopez finds himself at third. Andrade on board with a single. So seeing here, and top of the first frame, no score. You're enjoying the championship matchup. The show, the main event, the final game of the tournament. 16 teams came in. 2 were standing. Part of the plate. Count is 0-1. 1 out. Harmon works from the stretch. Throw back over. Tag on. Lopez back in time. Or correction, Andrade over on the first base side. Back in time. Monahan takes a cut. And the count is 0-2. 2. Lopez will come over, and the prospects will strike first. They bring one out. They're going to run for him. Courtesy runner for the catcher, Josiah Andrade. Gerant Vega, Devin over on the and a big cut there. Harmon gets that through. And the count is 0-2. Early on, championship matchup. ZT Painter third. And the count goes to 1-2. A lot of opportunities for these players throughout this tournament. Didn't have to move too far, as Aiden will pull that in over on the 5 spot, and they'll turn it over. They leave one on. They pick one across, and the prospects 1-0. So we'll bring it back in here as the ZT prospects. And over on the second base position is 1-0. Medina, center fielder. Anderson with a good arm over in left field, as Medina finds himself on board with a single. Curveball in for the strike, and the count is 0-1. So Hukala opens up there. And the leadoff hitter, Max Medina. From first to third. That ball's going to drop in, and like that, Namiscu will score on board with a single. And Hukala pumps that. Ball's popped up. Ty Daniels pulls it in. So Aiden will have a seat. And a big cut at the plate as Hukala runs it through. It's a swing and a miss. The count. Lynch takes a cut there, and the count is 0-2. Hukala working ahead. 0-2 count with one out. Jensen Hirschkern comes in as the designated hitter. Ball out, the count goes to 1-1. It's a 2-1. The 3-1 pitch. Ball's outside, ball 4. So Jensen gets on board with a walk. And that'll bring Jordan plays right field for Nor Cal. And runners at first and second. Prospects with 2 outs. Jaden Robinson over at second, and Daniels in his back pocket there. And a little bit of shuffling and dancing around over at second. Pitch on the way, ball's up. Back pick attempt. And Will Myhan. And the count is 2-1. Zane ready to deal. Pitch on the way. Hukala, the 2-2 pitch. Runners go. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 there at the plate. Zane Hukala. He deals. They'll leave 2. We're through 1 frame. We'll head to the second. It's a 1-1 tie. The 20. Flora sends it down, and we'll be ready to go here in the top of the second. A 1-1 tie here in the 7-8 here in the top of the second frame. Harmon stays on the bump. We're ready to go. And a ball in. The count goes even to 1-1. Light breeze coming in here. Comfortable this afternoon here as we're pushing. And a ball fouled back. The count goes even to 2-2. It out, and the count goes full to 3-2. So Manderson, a full count on him. Harmon shakes off, sees what he likes. Plate, the count is 1-1. And Matthew Ramirez will step in. Over, tag slapped on and back in time. Hunter Lynch, the first baseman for Nor Cal, pitch on the way. Ramirez takes on the move. Throw down. Tag is on. And quick word with the infield umpire. Call was on it. And a good play on the defensive side as Ty Daniels will have a seat. 1-2 to Ramirez with the bases empty and 2 outs. Top of the second, 1-1 tie. And we'll be ready to go. 6-3 put out. Count is 1-0. Third base side, and Reed takes care of that, and stepping in, Tanner Wall hitting the 9 spot. Right side pulled foul. The count is 0-2 to Wall. As Kala working ahead here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. 1-2. Kala looking for an out pitch here. We'll head to the third. 1-1 tie. Championship matchup, the 2025. Perfect game, UBC 17U division. We'll be right back. As the prospects ready to get on the offensive side. So Martinez will step in. Martinez in on the hands, and that ball should be able to make the play off a second coming in. So Harrington steps in, and we're ready to go here. Harmon lets that go and elevates. The count's 1-1. Ball out. The count goes to 1-2. Correction, 2-1 to Harrington. Off the first base side. And Harrington off of first base, kind of Harrington over at first. So Lynch will hold him on. Throw back. Fastball up. Lopez looks at a ball. The count's 1-0. With Hunter Harrington over on the first base side. Lynch holding him on. Toss back over to first. Harrington, I know looks like he's grimacing a little bit over there on the first base side. A quick consult out on the bump there to talk to Harmon. Flora says, hey, we got this. Andrade on the other way, saying, hey, I need to get a knock here. I got runners at first and second. Top of the third. And Andrade looks at a strike. The count is 0-1. Devin in the back pocket of Harrington over at second. Harmon takes a look. The ball is low. Good stop behind the plate, and the count goes to 1-1. Andrade takes the cut, fouls it off to the right side, and the count is a ball and 2 strike. The count is 1-2 as Andrade playing there, and everybody will reset. Lopez at first, pitch on the way. As Will steps in. And the count is 0-1. And the count goes to 1-2. And Will takes another cut, fouls it off. Harmon steps off, and my hand will reload. Left side, and all the way to the fence line. And Will gets in with a double and a 2-shot RBI. With 2 outs, and Hudson Reed will step in with my hand over at second. All deep. And yes, indeed, the damage has been done. So good stroke for my hand, and we'll head to the bottom of the third. Prospects leading this one 3-1, the 2025 championship game. Here on Burnstone as he steps back in. And the count goes to 1-2. And Hukala comes inside, and the count goes to 2-2. Good play on the defensive side. And a cut at the plate there for Tevin, the 11 hitter. And Hukala, 1, 2, 3, gets us to the third frame. And a ball up. Gets on board with a single. And the two-hitter, Jaden Robinson, the left fielder, will outs here with Hukala working from the stretch. Medina over at first. Moynihan holds him on. Lopez, good gather there. And Lopez. So runners at first and second with 2 outs, and the prospects having to grind to get to third. And that just chopped foul at the box. The count is 0-1. High fly ball goes foul and out of play. 3-1. We'll be right back. So a pitching change for Nor Cal U2026. Roland Covey. Covey will take over on the hill. And stepping in to get things started for the prospects here in the top of the fourth is Luke Manderson, 6'7", 8". The prospects, fastball in tight there as Manderson looks at ball one. Manderson takes a cut, fouls it straight back. And the count is a 2-2 count as Roland runs it out there. And left center, good swing there for Luke Manderson, and finds himself in with a double. Matchup. Hunter Harrington to step in. And the count is 0-1. And a strike outside. The count goes to 1-2. Ty Daniels being patient in the box here with Luke Manderson over at second. And Bernstein out there. Stepping in Matthew Ramirez. Ramirez hitting in the 8 spot. We're in the fourth. Down the first base side. Ramirez had turned to the right in foul territory after crossing, and Manderson. And Martinez takes a cut. And Martinez pulls back, and the count is 1-1, but moving up 90 feet is Matthew Ramirez. So Ramirez ends up at second, and the count goes tied. The count goes to 2-1. And swing and a miss. Down finds himself up 90 feet over at third. Ball at the plate. The count's 1-0. Oh. Just looking for a knock anywhere. They'll bring Ramirez over from third. The 2-1 pitch. Ball's out. The count goes to 3-1. Ball four is going to have to get down, but not in time. So a ball of correction. Ramirez coming home from third as the ball bounces and takes a cut. It'll turn it over, but the prospects, they move ahead 5-1. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. The 2025 UBC bringing you back in here. And Hucala opens up for the strike. The count is 0-1. Foul out of play. Harrington in right field this afternoon. A shift made there, typically center. Playing. So Justy Lope. And hit by pitch there. That Hucala lost that one. And Jensen will get on board there, hit by pitch. One out on the books. Bunt shown, fouled off to the left side. Hucala. And a ball just missing out, and the count goes to 1-2. Here at 1-2. Into the glove. Andrade takes care of that. 2 down. So that gets away from Zane. And runners at first and second with 2 outs here. Let's get out of this thing. It's a 5-1 game right now in the fourth, and let's quit hitting guys. Left side. They're going to have to bring it in. A good arm, and here it comes all the way in. A high throw, though. And so a double and one over. And runners at second and third with 2 outs. Out here. Wall will step in the 9 spot. And Hukala comes back with a strike, and the count evens up. It out. The count goes to 2-1. Breaking ball there misses, and the count goes 3-2. Expecting this one 5-2. Caller ready to deal. Pitch on the way. Strike 3 call. Gets him on the outer third. And so Lopez pulls the trigger down the line, and the third baseman thought it might have been foul, and Lopez opens up with a double. We're in the 5th, 5-2 Prospects as mentioned. Your championship game here in the 2025 Perfect Game UBC event here at the Great Park in Irvine. Lopez on ball getting through at the dish. And a ball at the plate. Lopez moves up 90 feet to third. From the stretch, defense ranged up. And a ball is low. The count goes to 2-0. Fastball out, locates. Andrade takes a look. The count's 2-1. So Andrade fouls it off. The count evens up at 2-2. Time, head umpire gives it to him. He'll step out. Slides himself on a pass ball at the plate, ends up at third, and Andrade strike. Rollin opens up with the count at 0-1. The top of the 5th, 6-2 Prospects. And a ball fouled off, and the count holds at 1-2. Will, third base side, a good stroke there. Prospects with runners at second and third. So Vega from first got all the way to third. Cal U2026 crew has their conversation. J.P. Harmon was the starting pitcher, and So a quick conversation just to settle things down here a bit as there were no outs in the fifth frame. Laying off at the plate, a strike called. Reed looked back like, hey, that was low. But we're not calling the game, and the count is over. He takes a second there. Like he might have got a little bit off on the cleat, perhaps. And Hudson, the count is 0-2. No outs. Rollins steps off. He'll reset, and that'll do it. So Rollin will get the K, and Reed will have a seat. Luke Manderson will step in. Cuts it foul to the right side and out of play. Count is 0-1. Over at third. And Rollin comes in on Manderson and gets the strike called. The count's 0-2. Sitting in the 7th spot here. Second and third occupied. And Daniels takes a cut, fouls it straight back. And and a strike there. Daniels takes a look. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. 6-2 ZT over Nor Cal, the 2025 UBC 17U championship game here at the Great Park in Irvine. Chris Allen. Ten, 11, 1 here in the bottom of the fifth. And good pitch there for Hukala. The count is 0-2. And then Zane working ahead. Jack. And at the plate there, our head umpire, the ball jumped back up underneath. All right, our umpire gets back into it. He's good to go. And the count is 1-2. First base side, routine play there right in the glove of my hand, and Will take care of that himself. 2 out. Top of the order here, Max Medina will step in. And the count. Lopez. And a good effort for Justy Lopez. Jaden Robinson will step in. Left fielder with 2 outs. Runner at first. Tosses in, we'll be ready to go here. We're in the top of the 6th frame. So our umpire puts it in, we're ready to go. Forehouse. Yes, he will. He's on his way. A throw in, not in time. So Ramirez with some afterburners shows he's got some speed. And a well hit. And Derek Martinez will step in. Martinez, another cut at the plate. The count is 0-2. Martinez takes a look. He'll have a seat. And Hunter Harrington will step in. Slider in for the strike. The count's 0-1. And outside part of the plate, Harrington will have a seat. And 2 down. Lopez takes a cut. Fouls it straight back. The count is 0-1. Third. Count is 0-1. And Lopez lays off there, just missing. Count goes to 1-2. So Justy will step back in. Ramirez down at third. Got things started with a triple down the fair, not chasing. And it's a 3-2 count. And they'll leave one on. We'll head to the bottom of the 6-2 prospects. Ramirez, and on board with a single.
95, no more? What's max?
8 and over at first. Good play there. Lopez showing his stuff today. Lopez performing well on the offensive side. And a cut at the plate there. And the count is 2-1 to the batter. Jensen hitting in the 5. I think I spoke too soon there as my hand looked like he might have came off the bag there. And a good effort. Good play for Ty Daniels over on the shortstop side. Wasilkowski will step in. Jordan, 2 outs. Fouled straight back. The count. Lucala de deal. Right side, 1 hop. Lopez. And a good grab there. Lopez on fire this afternoon. He's doing Well, bring you back in. We're in the 7th frame, the final frame of the 2025 UBC 17U championship matchup here between two excellent 3, 4, 5 here in the top of the frame. Jamarian Bello takes over on the bump for Nor Cal. He's got his warm-up tosses now. Up for the first out. And Andrade will have a seat. William Lyhand getting some good production out of him here throughout the course of the tournament on his way to North Carolina. Right side, right, oh, in and out of the glove. You're going to have to get there quickly. And a good play there for Jamid will step in with 2 outs in the 7th. And laying off at the plate, they appeal down to the first base umpire. No, he did not go. And the count is 2-1. Hudson Reed looks at ball 3. Count is 3-1 as he steps back in. Here in the 7th with 2 outs. Luke Manderson will step in. Count is 1-0. Hunter Lynch for Nor Cal holding on. Hudson Reed. Swing and a miss. Good stop at the plate for Flora. The 2-1 pitch. And Bella gets it through. Swing at the plate for Manderson. The count goes to 2-2. And chop foul at the plate. And a 2-2 count holding here with. Runner goes, swing and a miss at the plate, and that'll do it. So Bella comes in, and some good. So we're ready to go here to start the bottom of the 7th. Caller ready to go. And a ball cut foul. The count's 0-1. Lopez, good glove. And a good play there. So 1 out. Hudson Flora, the catcher, will step in. And the count's 2-0. And a strike there. Zane comes back. We'll lose the catcher Flora down to first base. And Harrington brings it in quickly from the right side and being in right field. At first and second. Ball's fouled straight back. The count is 0-1. And the ball's cut foul. Takes a look at second. The 1-2 pitch. Left side. And they're going to have to bring it in. And maximum number here in the championship round. So Hukala does good work for the prospects. And he'll come off the bump. And a strike there. So Vega comes back, puts one up, and the count goes. Fence line, here comes one. And they're going to bring it in. There's no there, so to lacrosse. So in with the double. Nor Cal, the home team, and one out. So Martinez, a visit out to the hill to talk to Vega. We'll bring you back in here. And ball's left side. That's going to drop in. And rounding home, they got a bang-bang play. And the ball is over. And a tie ball game. Stepping in, Luke Manderson. Seventh. And we're now in a 6-6 tie. And Luke Manderson will step in. And they're going to create an environment to get a double play. And Manderson ready to go. Ball's cut foul. The count 1. Andrade keeps it out in front. The count goes to 1-1. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 6. High fly ball. Ball's going into foul territory. And pulled it in. Martinez. They go to third. Tag is on. And that's out number 2. And he fires it into third. And the tag is on. Out at third for the third out. So Martinez in left field pulls it in. So Derek makes the play there, throws it in, and they get the runner out at third. As promised, the two best teams standing in the tournament here, and an exciting finish so far for both of these clubs as Nor Cal came back in the bottom of the 7th to tie it up a 6-6. So some good work on both sides, and we'll be ready to go here. Well, Ty Daniels will start things off for the Prospects here in the top of the 8th. Daniels hits in the 7th spot. The Prospects go 7, 8, 9. So a good play off of the third base side. Aiden gloves it up and fires across on a 5. And swing and a miss. And a ball low there. The count goes to 3-2. A full count to Ramirez with ball's up, ball 4. Ramirez gets a free ride down to first base at 90 feet. Hucala steps in. Prospects ran Hucala as far as they could in the 7th, and it looked like they had it closed out at 6-2. With Ramirez at first. And a ball low and in, so Zane patient at the... Ramirez fouled it off to the left side, and the count evens up at 2-2. Oh. And a quick move, a look, and the count holds at 2-2. So Zane looking for a knock here. And we're just heading towards the 5 p.m. hour here on Thursday. Hucala. Left side, that ball's deep. It's carrying all the way to the track. And a so Hunter will step in and a visit out to the mound to talk to Bella. Two outs, we're in the 8th. And Harrington looks at ball 1. The ball in, the count goes to 2-0. So Harrington looks at a 3-0 count. And we'll head 90 feet down to first. And Justy Lopez will step in. Pitching change coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Silva will step in and take over. 2 outs on the books as Bella steps off. Jamarian and Justin Lopez will step in. And that ball had some juice on it. And the count is 0-1. Comes in on him. And the count is 1-2. Runners at first and second for the Prospects. We're in the 8th frame. Goes to 2-2. So Justy takes a swing there. And a ball up, and Lopez not biting there. The count goes full at 3-2. Silva comes in, replaces Bella. Lopez. The 3-2. So Andrade will step in, and Silva, as I mentioned, taking over for Jamarian Bella. Line drives are your friend. Here we go. Ball is out. The count is 1-0. The deeper fields, and of course, these through, and they'll shut it down. Here comes Harrington. They throw it offline, but at the point where Harrington couldn't come. And Harrington at third. So Andrade, they're going to run for him, the catcher. And I'll tell you, talk about a young man who's grinding it out here this week after catching Seth Hernandez all season. And now a messed up hand as well. This kid's grinding it out. We're ready to go. My hand steps in. Bases stage. So Will steps back in, the 1-0 count. Well, bringing you back in, we're ready to go here. As Lynch and Anderson opens up with a strike, locates the outer third. The count is 0-1. Slightly past the 5 p.m. hour here this Thursday. A championship game, right side. Jensen will step in, hits in the 5 spot. Right behind the plate. And comes inside there, and the count goes to 2-0. So Andrade, quick visit. So the 2-0 count. Luke steps back on, we're ready to go. Anderson. And missing out, the count is 3-1. Southern California. Strike 3, Anderson. So Luke gets on the gas, and he'll get the K. Luke steps on, locked in. And fastball missing out. The count is 1-0. 1-1. And the ball's popped up, and the count evens up at 2. Anderson locks on. Shakes off the call, sees what he likes. Win it. A good matchup, and the Nor Cal U2026 club, they came charging back in the 7th, and to tie it up at 6-all. The Prospects get one over in the 8th, and they close it. Baseball championship tournament here at the Irvine Great Park. Chris Allard with the call for Perfect Game. The directors, all the scouts here, and everybody doing their say so long from the West Coast. We'll see you this summer as we continue to roll on in the 2025 Perfect Game season.